I found a really nice pair of headphones that I got for Christmas a couple years ago, and they're really nice. They're Bose, they are noise canceling, they sound really good, they fit my head really good, and I chose not to podcast with them because the old headphones were working so good for the Eagles' success. So I rode them out until the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Okay, so Brandon, when you hear that, are you like, bro, you're an idiot? Or are you like, yeah, I agree. Thank you for doing that. You helped them win.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean that, and also I've been growing this beard since week 5, the bye week, just so you know.
That's how much we needed the beard, and it worked. So thank you.
Sports and culture all in one. Catch the fire, feel the fun. Andrew, Sistad, glad unite. Philly and Y in the spotlight.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to episode 29. Today, we have a special guest. Sistad's older brother, Brandon, joins the pod to tell us how crazy this dude really is. Thanks for joining, Brandon.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so jumping right into it, we found out over the course of this pod some of his superstitions, like with the Eagles jersey, he has to wear the same one. But I have a feeling that you have so much more insight on his superstitions. So can you start off, just tell us, just for starters, if you think of all of his crazy superstitions, what really jumps out at you?
Well, here's the thing. I think he might have learned some of his behavior from his older brother.
Oh boy.
Oh man, you're outnumbered, dude.
Yeah, we're crazy. I don't know if you noticed, Jenna sent you some videos from the Super Bowl, right?
Correct.
And you notice where Brad and I were both standing the entire game? We
I
stood.
didn't notice. I knew where he was standing, like in between, in that doorway.
Yeah, in the door.
Were you there
me.
too?
That was me behind him. Yeah.
Oh, that was you behind him.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah,
Did you both?
it wasn't the best view, but it was working.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, once you're in the spot and they start winning, you can't move, dude.
That's
Everybody
right.
knows that.
So you were standing. So Sistad's standing in the doorway.
Mhm.
You're behind him the whole game, and when he's like doing this thing with like pounding and like walking in circles and pacing, are you like pacing behind him? Like what's?
Oh yeah,
it's like following him.
We were all freaking out. You didn't say, you didn't say it.
There was so much chaos in those little clips; it was hard to see what was going on.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were freaking out.
So he pretty much just copies you.
I think we both feed off of each other a lot. I mean, we watched so many games. We've been to games together, and we've watched so much sports together that we kind of picked up on each other's habits along the years a little bit.
So what have you picked up from him?
I like to think I'm a little more mellow than he is when we're watching games.
Without a doubt, yeah. I'm by far. Oh my God, yeah. I'm definitely the more animated one. I think even when things are like bad, I think that you can still like crack a smile and joke around even though everything is horrible. Whereas like you don't even want to be in the same room as me because I just want to fucking hit something. So I think that's the difference. We definitely feed off each other. We have a lot of like similar kind of inside joke things and things that we say. Like anytime a player who we've been trashing like all season does something good, well, I do it on the podcast. Like, oh, I've never said anything bad about Kenneth Gainwell because he had a 9-yard run. So that's a big thing that we do. But yeah, I'm certainly the more like just insane, person who freaks out, and he's definitely gets upset. Don't get me wrong, but his way of emoting his feeling is a lot more, a little just more upbeat and like jovial than mine, even if he's feeling down. Whereas I want to throw something through the window.
Have you ever thrown something, like broken anything?
When I was young, I used to like throw the remote or throw anything close by, really. Like anything that happens to be within reach is a potential projectile. And there's no telling where it was going to go. But yeah, I don't think I have like thrown anything in a long time. Probably like 6-7 weeks.
But
Since week
seriously though,
4.
it's been a few years, you think?
Yeah, no, it was definitely the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game.
That's when the season ended, though.
That's when it was over. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to play those clips anymore. It's over.
No. Good. Until next year.
Brandon, any meltdowns or celebrations of his that stick out to you, like during maybe the Tampa Bay game? Was there a meltdown or?
We were very somber during that game. We actually watched that game together. It was one of the few this season that we did, and yeah, we were both even I was pretty bummed out about it. Like they had like 5 yards at halftime or something.
That's how bad it was, dude. I'm telling you, he keeps making fun of me for this rant, and it was
awful.
It was the worst team you'd ever seen in your life to that point.
Yeah, he was given a lot of the worst team ever quotes during that game.
I think the Eagles have built a standard that is, if they don't reach that standard, you think they're horrible, but really it's just not up to your expectations. Like, for instance, if the Jets were 2-2, and they were 2-2 actually at one point, like I was very happy.
They were 2-1 at one point, actually.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I was feeling great about it.
You'll
always have that Thursday night home game against the Patriots, dude, to send them to 2-1.
Of course. Does he rage quit? Do you both of you do you guys, if a team's getting blown out, do you just say, fuck this, turn it off and walk away? Or
I never do that. No.
Not with
I
the
might
Eagles.
do it. Yeah, exactly. I might do it for, if it's June 9th on Tuesday and like the Philly, I probably won't watch the rest of that. I'll go to bed. But yeah, Eagles game, it would have to be really, 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 really bad for me to do that. Like we did not turn off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. So
we suffered through every minute.
I would say extremely rare, but mostly in other sports, it might happen.
Brandon, are you mainly an Eagles fan? You're not into the other teams, Philly teams?
I like the others also.
Okay.
4 for 4.
Are you like really into them? Or you watch, like, for instance, Sixers, Flyers, typical season? How many games are you watching a year?
Man, the Sixers are hard to watch this year.
Yeah, no, that's right. Typical season.
I'd say honestly during football season, I don't pay so much attention to the other two winter sports, but yeah, right around now I'll start watching the Sixers. This year, it's impossible to watch this year, but
yeah.
So if the team's bad, you don't waste your time.
Not really, no. But I do watch. The Flyers aren't great, but I've been watching a lot of hockey this year, and actually really enjoying watching the Flyers this year too.
Yeah, different expectations. Have you been watching the Four Nations tournament at all?
Yes, we have. Yes, my girlfriend and I.
It's been pretty cool. I know. I saw it. She's a Devils fan, right?
Yeah, she's a huge hockey fan.
Oh no!
Loves the Devils. Former season ticket holder for the Devils.
Really?
Yes.
At which arena?
At the Prudential Center.
Do you also have this ridiculous, passionate hatred for New York sports?
I do. Yeah, I think he might have learned a lot of that behavior from me also.
So this is all your fault.
I think mine is mine's a little more playful than his, though. I think.
Yeah, so I would say yours is not a hatred. I would say yours is more of a troll job. You like to poke fun at them, whereas I have a burning hatred for most things New York sports related. Not all, but most.
Giants, Yankees, Knicks mainly.
Yes.
Brandon, for you, is it because of the fans? You come across a lot of New York fans that are obnoxious?
I think so, yeah.
They're rivals with your team?
A little of both. We used to go out to the bars, and they were always full of Giants fans, and there would be a lot of trolling and banter back and forth, and It was all in good fun for me for the most part, but some of the New York fans took it a little too seriously.
And Philadelphia fans, none of them took it too
Never,
seriously.
never.
Never
Nope.
and no. Best fans
Never
in the world.
once. Yep. Never said anything out of line. Never.
All right, so take me through this. So you're 5 years older than?
4.
Through about 4, yeah.
Okay. At what point did Sistad start, or Brad start watching sports? Like, what time did you start? At what point was how old was he when he started watching sports with you?
I would say I was probably a young teenager and he was like 10 preteen, somewhere around there when we started, I think.
Okay. Did you guys go to games together that young, or a little bit later on in life?
Very few. More as an adult than as children.
Okay. I'm just trying to understand like how he learned this path of ridiculousness. Like this like, I'm obsessed with my teams. I need to stand in this spot, otherwise they won't win. I need to wear this color jersey, otherwise they won't win. Things that I do actually impact people that have nothing to do with me and how they play.
I think I would have to pinpoint that in my own life first because I think he learned a lot of that from me over the years.
Yeah, I really don't know. I feel like I had been like that ever since I started watching sports, and it just kind of grew with me as I got older, I guess. I don't remember not being like this. I actually remember like I probably was much worse as I was a kid, and now,
I would hope so.
yeah, well, now it's more just like the minor stuff. Like again, the headphones. Not bothering anyone. I'll just keep using the old headphones
All right,
until the Eagles
you
win
didn't.
the Super
So
Bowl, and it
you told me
worked,
that
so
story
it's all
before
good.
we started.
Yes.
So tell the story now about the headphones, because you're wearing new
So
headphones today.
so I found a really nice pair of headphones that I got for Christmas a couple of years ago, and they're really nice. They're Bose. They are sound canceling, whatever they call that.
Noise canceling, I think.
Noise
Yeah.
canceling. Yeah, sound canceling sounds better.
Same thing.
Noise canceling. They sound really good. They fit my head really good. And I chose not to podcast with them because the old headphones were working so good for the Eagles' success. And also the hat that I had been wearing, I had worn basically right when the Eagles got on their hot streak. So I rode them out until the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and now they won, so I can use the new headphones, I can put the new hat on, and if they don't win the Super Bowl next year, you can all blame me.
Okay, so Brandon, when you hear that, are you like, bro, you're an idiot? Or are you like, yeah, I agree. Thank you for doing that. You helped them win.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean that, and also I've been growing this beard since week 5, the bye week, just so you know.
Oh,
Oh, week 5,
that's not
see that?
a bye week beard. Oh, that's
Yeah,
not
it's
a
a bye
playoff
week
beard.
beard.
That was the post Tampa Bay. He started the playoff beard after the Tampa Bay game. That's how much we needed the beard, and it worked. So thank you.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I actually was superstitious. I would sit in the same spot on the couch when I watched the game. I don't know what else I had. I had other things I would have, some quirky things. But as I got older into becoming a teenager, an adult, I realized how absurd this stuff is. So I just stopped doing it. How have you guys not got to that point?
And that's why your teams haven't won anything since you were a teenager, dude. Come on, man. 2009. I mean,
It's true.
Jesus.
I was a senior in high school when the Yankees won.
Oh, well, coincidence?
I wasn't
don't
doing that
know.
stuff then.
You should give it a try. Just try it next year. Just try it. Yeah.
Quick question for you guys, completely off topic. It just made me think of it. If you were in my situation, you had a shirt like this, what would you do with it? And by the way, for people that are just listening and not watching on YouTube, where I have the Juan Soto Yankee shirt on, what would you guys do?
I'm cool with it. I think that Juan Soto was probably one of your favorite Yankees last year. He was really good. It was a fun ride. He he was a major piece in getting back to the World Series, so I'm totally fine with it. I mean, the whole Mets thing kind of muddies it a little bit, but you saw me a couple weeks ago. I was wearing that T-shirt with James Harden on it. Like, that doesn't
It's
bother me.
different, but that's a lot different.
It's a little. I mean, it's even more. I think it's the Harden shirt's probably worse because of the way that it ended with the Sixers. I mean, he pretty much forced his way out. He paraded around China holding up signs that said Daryl Morey is a liar. Like, it was pretty ugly. So
No, it would be like if Harden went to the Knicks the year after, like he ditched left them, chose the Knicks over the Sixers in free agency,
or the Celtics, yeah.
Or the Celtics, yeah. Whoever's the
Yeah,
Celtics are the biggest rivalry.
So if that was the case, then I would not wear the shirt.
Would you burn it?
I think I wouldn't burn it. I'm not a burn the jersey guy. I still have a couple Ben Simmons jerseys up in my closet. I haven't worn them in a while, mostly because I'm too fat and they don't fit me anymore, but I probably wouldn't wear them. I probably wouldn't wear them anyway. But I'll give them to like my kids one day or something. I'm not gonna burn them. Like, what are you, ridiculous? It's so crazy.
No, you're not. You wouldn't do something ridiculous like that. No.
I wouldn't burn something, dude. Like, sell it, give it away or
No,
something.
you
I don't
wouldn't
know.
burn something, but you. That's ridiculous. But not wearing the headphones that improve the podcast potentially. That you can't do because the Eagles need you. Jalen Hurts needed you to wear these headphones. Brandon, what do you think? What would you do if you had if you're in a situation, star player was there, left, would you still wear the shirt?
It actually plays perfectly into one of my superstitions. I never will buy or wear current players' stuff.
I love that. That's good.
I
like
don't
that. I actually appreciate that one.
I've done it. Like the one that sticks out in my head is Asante Samuel when he was on the Eagles. I bought his jersey, and like a month later, I think he was out for the season, and then the next season he was gone. So
I kind of agree with that. I typically wouldn't get any sort of. I don't wear jerseys. But shirts with player. I don't really get that either. But if I would stay away from any player that's like a pending free agent. My wife just decided to get the shirt for me in season. She actually didn't know who Juan Soto was until we started doing this podcast.
But actually, that's different. If it's a gift, then it's fair game.
Yeah, that's different. It has to be different. Okay. All right. Anything else on the superstitions? Anything else that comes to mind that we should talk about before we move on?
No, I mean, we talk about a lot of it here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's playoff beard, and it is hat and headphones, and it is jersey color, all that kind of stuff. Those are the big superstitions.
Brandon, I can't believe that you're not just telling him what a ridiculous, crazy fan this person is. Like, I can't believe you're the one to blame for this.
I'm part of the reason. I think the one difference is like that I noticed. Brad is a stander. He always stands when we're watching the games, and I'll pick a nice spot and I'll get comfy. But Brad,
this is just Eagles, right? This isn't like you're watching like game 50 of like the Phillies season. You're sitting. You're not standing.
No. Playoff games. Yes, I'm very much standing for
the whole game.
Yes.
Even when you watch it, not when you're recording it.
Playoff games, yes.
You're crazy.
I know. I can't.
I'd actually never thought of that. Never thought of that angle of it because I've only seen him the angle of him watching a recorded game but standing.
It's kind of a funny concept, right? Like,
I think
the result already happened.
But I don't know what happened.
Brandon, you don't watch.
The emotion is still there.
You watch it live, right?
I do.
You don't record. Yeah.
No.
I couldn't do it. I have the Gotham Sports app, which for the Knicks right now, it's for MSG, and it's like really delayed. I'm like over a minute, like a minute and a half behind, and it kind of ruins it for me.
You get notifications on your phone before it happens on the screen. Yeah.
And people are texting me, and I'm not going to turn my phone off and ignore the world just because a sporting event's going on. I don't know anyone that would do that.
You know one person.
All right. What are you guys' thoughts on the Sixers? More so, Brandon. What are your thoughts currently on the Sixers?
Oh man, so I've kind of been out of tune with it this season, but like I said, it's just hard to watch, man. Every once in a while they throw it on, but a lot of times it's on at the same time as a hockey game that we're watching or something. So we're
And
just
your preference is the Flyers right now.
yes. Or if I'm with Alicia, then we're watching the Devils, whether the Flyers game's on or not.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jack Hughes.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, that guy.
Devils are good.
I'm telling you, I mean, I still talk a lot of trash, but they are fun to watch.
Do you find yourself? You don't find yourself rooting for them at all?
No,
But they're not really rivals with the Flyers, are they?
not really. I get excited because she gets excited when
Yeah.
she's watching and they're playing well and stuff.
I could see that. That's a full no-go for you, though, right? Like
Me?
no chance.
No.
Yeah. There's no chance.
No. No way.
What if Jenna was? What if she years ago when you were dating, she was a Giants fan?
So she was a Giants fan, but not a real one. Like one of these, one of these people who like watched the Giants because they were good and it was like the fun thing to do for a year, like, when they went to the Super Bowl. But like you can't this is I have this conversation with not just her, but like all of the fake Giants fans around here. It's like, okay, so you were good in 2007 and then by 2016 if it's like, can you name 5 Giants? And they would say like, whoever was on the 2017, like OCU Manura, and it's like, no, he hasn't been there in 6 years, and it's like they just don't know. Like these are the people that when you go to a game and you come up and say, when's Jeter hitting? When's A-Rod coming up to bat? And people start looking around, asking, yeah, well, when is he coming up to bat? Those are the people. Those are the people that I'm surrounded with here. So,
I think that's the vast majority of sports fans, though.
I don't. Well, if you are, then you're not a real fan, though. Like that's the thing.
Based on your standard.
No.
You don't get to determine what other people
You have to be able to name people on the team currently to consider yourself a fan. I'm sorry, you just you can't tell me Victor Cruz.
Can we play this out?
Sure.
Brandon.
Yes.
How many players in the Sixers can you name currently?
Ooh, I could probably name 6 or 7, maybe.
Is he a real fan if he names 6 or 7
yes,
only?
Yes, of course.
How many how many current players on an NBA team do you have to be able to name for you to consider them a real fan? What's the line?
If you're telling me that you are a fan of this team, listen, you don't have to name the full 53-man roster, but like you have to be able to.
I'm talking about the Sixers right now.
I'm just giving you an example of just sports fans across the board. I'm not asking for much, dude. Can you name 3 to 5 players on the team? And if you can't, then you're not a real fan. Then you watched them win the Super Bowl in 2007 and you had fun because everyone was like, in college and like getting drunk at parties. Like you're not a real fan. It was a fun thing to do for you for a couple months.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
And you're done.
I agree with you, but you have to name more than 5 current players on a football team to be considered. You don't. If I can only name 5 Jets players, I'm not a real Jets fan.
Okay.
You disagree with that?
No, I don't.
That's a low standard.
That's what I'm saying. But the standard is that's what I was saying. The standard is not high. I don't expect you to name all people on the roster, but you have to be able to name some. And most people can't. You're
extreme. You're being extreme. You're saying you don't expect to name all the players on the roster, but you need to name some. So what is the line where you think?
I just said 3 to 5.
On a 53-man football team.
Yes, and most Giants fans could not do it today. If you pulled all the people at the bar that he was telling you about, and you said, "Hey, name 5 Giants," they would say Victor Cruz, Michael Strahan, Jason Sehorn, Eli Manning, and Justin Tuck. That would be their 5.
Interesting 5 that you chose.
Maybe Manningham. Or I don't know.
Odell Beckham.
Kevin, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they would. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't think that's your real. I think you're lying.
I'm not lying, dude.
That's
That's
not
how
your real
low
standard. That's
it
not it.
is.
No, no.
I'm okay.
You don't consider someone that can name 5 players on a football team to be a real fan. You would need them to name a lot more than that. Come on, there's no way.
I don't expect people. I just expect you to have somewhat of a clue as to what's going on.
Yeah, but you're
I
talking
expect
vague
you to be
terms.
able to tell me no. That's why I'm not. I don't want to set this major criteria. Like here's the official ruling for football specifically. You have to be able to name 5 current players on the team, and you have to be able to tell me what a play action pass is, and that's it. Then you're a fan. Okay,
Brandon, what do
that's
you
it.
think? What's your
I
line for a real
I
fan?
agree. I don't know. Maybe a couple of more than 5. Like, I mean, I guess maybe you could draw the line between fan and fanatic, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say 5 is probably fair. Maybe
I think
just
it's being
maybe
very. I think it's being too light on these people, but I'm okay with doing that because not everybody has to inject every ounce of sports into their veins.
Yeah, but
But
that's
yeah, you have to have a clue as to what's going on.
you should know. I'm actually like this is kind of funny because now I'm doing the opposite. I'm like telling you that your standard's too low for what a real fan is.
I know.
Yeah, because you need a name. You need to be able to, for a football team, know the quarterback, the running back, minimum of between receivers and tight ends 2, and you probably need to know at least 1 or 2 players on defense. And then I'd say, okay, you're a fan, a real fan, and then a true diehard fan would need to know probably at least 25% of the roster minimum.
Okay. Well, you have your rule book, and I have mine.
I think maybe you could throw the head coach in
I'm
there or
more
something like
generous.
that. Head
Yeah, there
coach,
you go.
coordinators, something like that.
Yeah, there you go. So Brandon's not watching the Sixers. What about you, Sistad? You're still watching the Sixers, or you completely giving up on them?
A little bit. I'm totally ready for them to tank. This is the first time I can remember me like actively rooting for losses at this point. They have been a complete embarrassment. I mean, a lot of it's injuries, but it's just season from hell type stuff. Like everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong for them. You've got injuries, and you've got Joel Embiid pushing a reporter in the locker room and getting suspended, and it's just been super, just weird and janky, and like literally nothing has gone their way all year. So I just want to rest everybody up, tank, let Maxey get some more minutes, let him become a little bit of a better defender, a little bit of a better playmaker over the second half of the year, lose games, and then give yourself a shot at one of those top 6 picks. And then, next year you'll have McCain come back. Hopefully everybody else is healthy and doesn't injure any body parts between now and the end of the season, and just start new.
Embiid's not going to be healthy. It's not realistic to expect that.
Well,
You agree?
I
You
mean,
agree, right?
Yeah, of course I agree. But this
You
is
don't have an
this
option.
is yeah, exactly. This is the hand that they've been dealt at this point. So
And
at this, you
their
might as
pick
well
is
try, and I mean, you might as well try for next year.
yeah, of course.
And if you can get yourself a better pick, and you know me, I'm not Mr. Draft pick guy. I actually think they're mostly ridiculous. But in this sense, there's no incentive for them to go for it. I mean, what best case scenario, if everything goes right between now and April, like they are, I don't know, they get the 9 or the 10 seed, and then they're in the
They're in the
play-in,
world.
and then they win a play-in game, and then they get the 7th or 8th seed, and they have a date with the Cavs or the Celtics in round 1. It's like, what's the point of that? Maybe you put up a competitive series in round 1, you're going to lose. So I just don't think that that's worth it when you juxtapose it with the potential of getting a top 6 pick. And what people are saying, I mean, nobody watches more college hoops than me. People are saying this is such a loaded draft class that we'll totally break that down in a few months. We'll break down the
But
NBA draft prospects.
The relevance is their pick is top 6 protected. So if it's in the top 6, they keep their pick. Otherwise, they lose their pick.
Exactly.
That's the relevance.
Yes.
Brandon, is this a good joke with you too, where you like mock the draft and hate on the draft and all that stuff?
NBA draft, I mean, come on.
What about NFL draft?
The NFL, I think you could put some stock in the NFL draft. I mean, the Eagles seem to always draft well, so I kind of look forward to it as an Eagles fan every year.
Do you watch the draft?
I watched the first round or two, and then after that, I just check the social media for the updates after that.
Are you guys going to watch the NBA playoffs with the Sixers not in it?
I will watch some. Yeah, I'll certainly have it on.
Will you guys be rooting against the Knicks?
Yes.
Brandon, you?
Yeah, I'll be rooting against the Knicks for sure.
What if it's Knicks Celtics round 2?
Ooh.
God, that's such a hard question. I would say, unfortunately, I would have to root for the Celtics for 2 reasons. One, because it is very funny to me that there's one team in the Eastern Conference that has a longer Eastern Conference Finals drought than the 76ers, and it's the New York Knicks. So I would like to keep that streak going.
Okay,
And
that's a good one.
two, like the Celtics, like they already won one, so it's like, okay, they're just gonna win again, like that's fine. Whereas like from a Sixers point of view, like I don't know, there's the Celtics. Oh, now there's the Knicks we have to go through too. It's just another team to have to worry about.
That's already the case. Whether whoever won that second round matchup, that's still going forward the case.
Right, but I just think, yeah, I don't want to see another team. It's easier to swallow as a fan the one team just dominating for years to come instead of multiple teams getting their shot at glory and your team just can't get out of the second round.
So using that logic, you would root for the Celtics to beat the Cavs in the conference finals?
No.
Okay, so now explain.
Well, the Celtics Knicks is just a lesser of two evils thing. Whereas like the Cavs, who cares? Go Cleveland.
They're a new team. They're a new team. That.
Yeah, but I don't hate them.
They have to go through.
I don't.
Okay,
hate them.
so it's.
I hate the Celtics and I hate the Knicks.
And why do you hate the Knicks? Because fans were chanting "fuck Embiid"? Is that why you hate them?
I mean, just because they're just great and it's annoying.
The Knicks are great, like you mean currently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're annoying. They fucking got Bridges for peanuts, and they just put together this great team. And we went through this when they did all this. So
we didn't go through the Bridges trade because we didn't start the pod yet. I don't think.
Yes, we did.
We did?
You're right. No, I don't know. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't.
We talked about the cat trade.
Yes, also for peanuts, but okay.
So, Brandon, Knicks, Celtics. What about you? Who are you rooting for?
Man, that's tough. I might have to pick the Knicks, man. I don't know.
Well, I root for greatness, so I'm going Celtics all day. All right, I just love me some greatness.
I might have to go with the Knicks.
Go Knicks.
Yeah,
you're gonna root for the Knicks over the Celtics.
Yeah, I hate the Celtics.
I do too. It's a really tough question. It's really tough, but I think
it's because you don't hear from the Knicks fans really. I mean, you didn't until last year when they were good. All of a sudden, you didn't hear from them. So it's something about the Celtics fans that are just everywhere, and it's they've been too good for too long.
Brandon, I tried to explain this to your brother so many times. It won't work. I don't think it's going to work with you either based on that he learned everything from you, but I'm going to try. Could you admit that this is all just perspective? That this is all, as a Philadelphia sports fan, your perspective of New York fans, of Celtics fans, that the Celtics fans have that perspective of Sixers fans, and New York fans have that perspective of Philadelphia. You're shaking your head, but
dude, you're so wrong about this, dude.
So it's not perspective.
So wrong.
How am I wrong? What am I wrong about?
I'll tell you, dude.
Let your brother answer.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think a perspective has a lot to do with it, actually. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So perspective what are you say meaning now? What though? So I'm gonna say Sixers fans hate the Celtics because they're great and they've been great for a long time. Nobody hates the Sixers more than Sixers fans. Like, why? As a Celtics fan, why would you hate the Sixers? Like, what have they done?
About. You're missing the point.
Okay, perhaps I am. So
yeah, you're missing the point.
Okay, so
I'm
try to
about
explain it to me again.
The hatred for other fans. You're saying like, oh, these fans are always saying they're obnoxious. They're always saying stuff. They're always talking. That's what diehard fan base thinks about their rival fan bases. They all think that about the other one.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, Brandon, what about this one? I don't know if you caught this. I mentioned it last episode, two episodes ago. I don't remember, but I believe this is a theory. I haven't really thought that much about it, but I think it's possible that a big reason why sports fans in general and people hate on Philadelphia sports fans is because Philadelphia sports fans say that everyone hates us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think perspective again. I mean, we go around looking for everybody to hate us, then we're going to think that everybody hates us, right?
It's true. Yeah, because there's a saying. It's very, we don't talk about politics here, but politicians do this where they just keep saying the same thing over and over every time they speak. When people, and the reason is because when people hear the same thing, it's subconsciously they start on some level believing it.
Right.
So you hear that everyone hates Philadelphia fans and they're horrible. You keep hearing it.
I
so you think Philadelphia fans are horrible.
I think the Philadelphia fans are really, are they the only ones that get all the bad press, like nationally, for all the horrible things that they do every year?
I think people nationally really did not like the Yankees fan Mookie Betts situation. I think that got a lot of criticism.
Right. That was an isolated situation, though, really. I mean,
I think
anytime something off color happens in Philly, everybody's talking about it for at least a week.
I don't know. I don't hear it.
Yeah,
so, but that's just me not paying attention.
You don't follow that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
We would never tear down traffic lights and.
Okay, what's up with that? And I've said this is not exclusive to Philly. Other cities, Boston, they've done this too. I don't understand what kind of person thinks that, like, let's celebrate by ruining the city. Like, doesn't make sense to me.
Dude, I don't know.
Who brought the big wrench to take the stoplight down? That's
somebody was prepared. Yeah, someone was prepared. Yeah,
they were. All right, we're not mocking New York fans on Twitter today, right?
No.
All right, so let's get to subscriber questions. Brandon, by the way, we need a subscriber question from you going forward. I hope we have one for next episode.
Okay.
All right, we have a couple ones here. At SWJ93, the Knicks can't beat the Celtics and the Cavs. Okay. What is their offseason move to take the next step?
Wow.
So I think
should I answer so negative, man. Come on.
Do you don't agree? You think they can beat the Celtics and the Cavs?
I think they could beat the Cavs. Yeah, I don't think.
Well, they can't play they can't beat the Cavs if they can't beat the Celtics.
Yes, I know. If all of the standings stay that way, I don't know. I think they're really good. I think their problem seems to be, correct me if I'm wrong, just depth. The Celtics seem to be a little bit like deeper than they are, and I just think that their wing players are just way more skilled and athletic. Brunson's amazing, but I just think Brown and Tatum are so much better. I mean, you know how I feel about Anunoby, but I just think that they're so much better than Bridges and Anunoby that that's really all the firepower that you're going to need in a series like that. And especially if they get the version of Porzingis that they got the other night, they're going to be a really, really tough out. But I think that they can hang with them. They're still a really good team. Brunson, I mean, we saw in Philadelphia that he can pretty much single-handedly win you a playoff series by himself. So I certainly think there's a shot. And I would think they have a very good shot against Cleveland if that's the matchup that they end up getting. What do you think?
Yeah, it's almost definitively going to be Cavs number 1 seed, Celtics number 2, or the Knicks number 2. But either way, then that doesn't change anything. I think that it's unlikely the Knicks would beat the Celtics. It's extremely unlikely that they beat the Celtics and the Cavs in back-to-back rounds. But I mean, I wouldn't go as far as this person saying as far as this person went to say they can't beat them.
You know what you got to do.
Oh, I need to have some superstitions, or I need to wear like a
hat.
hat.
Grow out your playoff beard. Yeah.
Beard.
Don't shave from now till May.
I can't wait for the playoffs to grow it out.
You can, but listen, like we just talked about, sometimes they need that extra. They need you to start early, like the Eagles did after Tampa Bay.
But what if they need me to be clean shaven? What if that's what they need?
They don't need that. They never need clean shaven. No one
Why
ever
not?
needs to be clean shaven because that's not the way it works, dude. You're not
They,
harnessing your energy and sending the vibes to the Knicks, to the
well,
Mecca.
but for the Yankees, I would have to be clean shaven, right?
Yeah, that's lame, but yeah.
All right. So the actual question: what is their offseason move to take the next step? The Knicks, their offseason move to take the next step is depth pieces, is players on the bench. They're not. There's no big move out there unless somehow they're. I mean, no one's untradeable now. We've seen that, but unless Cat or Brunson or OG's in a trade, they're not. There's no big move. It's just depth, and they could use some depth.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
this is the core that they're locked into for, the next at least 2-3 years. So there's not going to be any major changes. There's just going to be a little tinkering with the roster here and there.
Yeah, I agree. And also about this core, it's not like this is an old core. They're all
Yeah,
under
totally.
30.
Mm-hmm.
So they can improve without making a big move. Year 2 with this Brunson, Cat, Bridges, OG, Hart, starting 5. They could also trade Mitch and go in different directions there. But anyway, okay. Second and last subscriber question. This one is for all three of us to answer.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
At Riley Ward, who was the next Philly or New York team to win a championship? Now, the actual question was who was the next team to win a championship? That's kind of a vague question. Like, what does that mean? So I made it New York or Philly. I think that's more relevant.
I think that's probably what they meant. Yeah.
Probably, unless they're either a Philly fan or New York fan, or just thinking about their teams. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
New York or Philly, who's the next to win a championship? Eagles?
I think, well, one of each or out of
Just
both
pick one.
cities?
Pick one out of all cities. Out of both cities, pick one. All cities.
Man, I would have to say probably the Eagles right now. I mean, or I'd say if I was going to pick a New York team, I'd say the Rangers are probably the closest.
I think
Not
the
this year.
Devils. Devils have a better chance than that.
Are we counting the Devils as a New York team?
I guess not. Mine is the G-men. I think that they're really close, man. They're gonna get Stafford apparently, and yeah, they're gonna bolster up that offensive line. Sign T. Higgins. Everyone is coming to the G-men this offseason. We got coach of the year, Dable. He's coming back with a vengeance, and yeah, my answer is the G-men, dude.
So what's your serious answer?
My serious answer, I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to not say the Eagles, even though they're the worst team I've ever seen. They're bringing back pretty much everyone. Everyone's still young enough. There's going to be a couple guys that they're going to need to make some decisions on, but other than that, the entire offense is coming back. They just re-signed Cam Jurgens to an extension. Offense is obviously still really good, young enough. Defensively, they got some decisions to make. Bryce Huff bounce back season for next year.
It's possible.
They got I just read just before coming on here that it looks like they're going to extend Zach Bond. They got to figure out what they're doing with Slay and Josh Sweat's a free agent, Milton Williams. So there's a couple guys that they got to make decisions on defensively, but the offense is going to come back. Could be better than next year or than last year. Got to see what's going on with the offensive coordinator, but yeah, I think the Eagles are still very well set up for another deep playoff run next year.
I agree with that completely. I think they're the best team right now out of all the teams.
Thank you.
That being said, just to answer this question, if I'm trying to do a random calculation in my mind.
J-E-T.
No, the way I'm looking at this is I'm not going to say a football team. I'm not going to say the Eagles because it's the last championship. It's the furthest away out of all the sports. So
okay.
that gives the other teams a better chance of winning first.
Because
the championships before that. So I'm thinking, I don't like I just said, I don't think the Knicks are realistically going to be able to get past the Celtics and the Cavs and then beat like the Thunder, or most likely the Thunder in my opinion, but any of the teams in the West. According to Draymond Green, it'll be the Warriors. Did you guys see that, by the way?
Mm-mm.
You didn't see that?
No.
He was on the TNT broadcast. I'll get back to this question in a second, but Draymond Green was on the TNT broadcast, and they were going through like, what do you want to talk about the trade deadline? And he was like, Jimmy Butler. And he said, he was writing about Jimmy Butler, very nice. And then he said, I think we're going to win the championship. And then, what did you say? And he said, I'm sorry. We are going to win the championship.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, they might not even they might not even get
past.
I
know, they're like the 10 seed right now, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think I would say the Knicks. I'm obviously not going to say the Sixers or the Nets. I don't think any of the hockey teams are going to win the Stanley Cup. I'm going to say the Yankees.
Yep. Wow.
I think they go into this season as the best team in the American League. And the American League is not very good. So if they get to the World Series, which they have a pretty realistic path going to the season, that's a pretty good head start in the chances of winning a championship. So I'm going to go Yankees.
Well, you always say that they roll out of bed and they're in the championship series, so that's a pretty good. If they win that, then they're there, and they just got to win.
I'm surprised you didn't say the Yankees. They roll out of bed and they're in the ALCS.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was a tough call, but losing Soto hurts. But they just replaced him with a few other MVPs. No big deal. So.
Oh God.
Just a few.
Oh my God.
Just a few.
We're gonna do baseball
Fried,
preview eps.
No big deal.
Max Fried's
lefty,
awesome.
Yeah, just best lefty. Fire the GM, dude. He's the GM is so. I would have picked the Yankees, but the GM Cashman is just so incompetent. It's that he takes them down, and Boone, right? How can you forget about Boone, the worst manager in the history of baseball?
Eagles fan, you think an Eagles fan is going to lead the Yankees to a World Series?
Please,
no way.
Please, maybe if he wasn't watching the Eagles Super Bowl and focusing on managing, maybe they would have been better next year.
Maybe they'd be more prepared going to spring training. Maybe Stanton wouldn't have a tennis elbow right now.
That's right.
Brandon, did he get this from you, this like obnoxious, facetious, fake positive view on the Yankees where he just thinks everything's amazing and he just mocks every Yankee fan that doesn't think they're great and then mocks Yankee fans that thinks they're too great?
No, I think that's all him.
Oh, okay. When did that develop?
I don't know. I've just always had like a complex with teams that were great growing up. It's just all of this stuff is just based on my formative years and my teams being pretty bad and watching other teams, especially teams close to home, have success. And as we've talked about many times, the people from North Jersey, New York, moving down to Ocean County, moving down here, I've just always had a disdain for them. And yeah, I just don't. It's just annoying to see fans who have so much success like not be satisfied. Like I'm going to be satisfied for a long time with this Eagles Super Bowl. And
great. Okay, well, hold on. Brandon, is this true? Is he going to be freaking out like week 3 next season after like during a really bad game?
I think we give him a season or 2, maybe.
Okay, really?
Not 5. I don't think so.
Oh, you heard him say 5. Yeah. He said a few seasons.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. And I think honestly all the other teams kind of get a pass too. Like
that makes sense though. Yeah, no, that kind of makes sense. That's something that New York doesn't have because a lot of fans are fans of like different teams.
Right.
There's like multiple teams in each sport. But yeah, it makes sense. Like the Sixers are getting a pass right now. There's less outrage about them.
Of course. Yeah, everyone's in a good mood.
And it could potentially take a little bit of pressure off some of the teams, and
totally.
Like the Phillies, maybe, who I think in the postseason every year are feeling that pressure of the city and just choking. Maybe that has some kind of the winning is contagious kind of thing.
You think the Phillies have lost in the playoffs because of the pressure of the city?
I think it has something to do with it a little bit. I mean, look at that.
All right.
It's one of the best lineups I've ever seen, like, of the Phillies in my lifetime. So they should have been producing a lot more than
that Ryan Howard Chase Utley lineup was J-Roll. That was a really good lineup.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, that was fun to watch.
Probably better than this one.
I don't know.
Certainly in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, yes, but early in the season, they looked pretty unstoppable last year. So,
all right. Any last thoughts? Anything that I didn't ask that I missed?
I'm surprised that you didn't ask about like my Super Bowl freakouts, man. I mean, I've had some very specific Super Bowl. I mean, I cried after they won the first Super Bowl.
All right, so let's talk about that.
My leg. I don't know if I told you this, Brand.
You told me. You told me about losing your leg.
My leg. Yeah. Did I tell you about my leg? So I was wearing just last weekend when they're this recent Super Bowl. The pants I was wearing were very thin, and I was holding a beer in my left hand the whole time, so I couldn't clap. So I just kept smacking my leg like really hard. It was my way of clapping, just smack, 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 smack. And I woke up the next day and I just had a giant like black and blue from my knee to like my hip basically, and I was just going ham on my quad, dude. And it really hurt, but I think it's all healed now. It's all better. It was worth it.
So what about when you Brandon, you were with him when he cried during the first Super Bowl?
The first one, yeah, yes.
Were you crying too?
The look of disgust on your face right now, dude, is like you are so judgmental of me right now. Yeah, on your face.
You gave yourself a black and blue, like you're punching your leg.
It wasn't on purpose, dude. I couldn't
that doesn't
even
make
feel
it better.
nothing.
That doesn't make it better because it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, I think I remember the first Super Bowl win. It was a pretty emotional day for both of us, but I think it got Brad a little more than it got me.
Yeah,
the tears were flowing.
I understand that emotion. Actually, I don't think is ridiculous. I know how much you care about the Eagles, and you've watched them for your whole life. They haven't won, and then they finally win. I can understand that emotion. It's positive. I'm all for really positive emotion when it comes to being a sports fan. It's a negative emotion that's absurd.
Yeah, not only did they not win, but they had gotten close so many times and just fell short. So when they finally broke through in that way against that team was insane. So when the Jets win a Super Bowl, you are going to cry too, and it's going to be great.
I probably won't believe it. I'm also not a Jets fan anymore. Haven't you heard?
You're not? Did you switch to the G-Men?
I'm an Eagles fan now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. We did here. You're right.
Go Birds.
That's right. Oh, that was a good Go Birds, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate.
Now you just gotta work on climbing up telephone poles and you'll be
punching myself in the leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about when they lost in the Super Bowl? What about when the TO team lost?
Ooh, the TO team.
I don't think we were together that year. I was at Aunt Chris's watching that game.
What was your reaction?
Yeah, that was a tough one. I was with some friends, and yeah, it's just a gut punch, And as far as I think this most recent one, for some reason, was so much more special to me because the first time they won, I was in total disbelief, kind of like I didn't even realize really what just happened at that time, and then this time
you were able to appreciate it more. You're saying
we had time to soak it in before it was over. Like we were celebrating. Yeah.
Oh, that brings
up
a question.
Celebrating, but you guys were. Yeah.
Okay. Brandon, you were a normal person up 24-0 or whatever it was, 31-6, and you knew it was over, right?
I think 34-0 was when I started saying it's over.
Okay. At what point did Brad start saying it was over?
Oof, when the Kenny Pickett was in.
That's
Yeah.
what he keeps saying. Yeah.
I
Oh
think
man. Okay.
honestly, he might have been after the Gatorade got dumped. I think
Yeah, I think he was. If the team is celebrating with the coach, if the head coach is celebrating, the fake, I think I'm the head coach fan that's standing, in one spot should be like, okay, the head coach says it. The actual head coach says it's over. I can, celebrate. It's
Yes.
over. But you couldn't
Well,
jinx them.
so here's the thing though. They had a lot of like the mic'd up and stuff came out this week, and they were not celebrating like until like very, very late in the fourth quarter.
Until Kenny Pickett came in.
Right. And they were kind of like making fun, and it was interesting. Jalen Hurts had a microphone on during that game, and like you could start to see people are kind of starting to be like, okay, like we got it. And Hurts was like, he said something along the lines of like, no, like I'm not, because they were saying like, hey, you can smile now, and he's like, no.
I saw.
Yeah, he said that the loss 2 years ago like broke his soul, something along those lines. He was like, yeah, that like really like shook me to my core. So he, like, a lot of them, like, you saw the whole time Saquon Barkley's on the sidelines going like, calm down, 0-0. Even when they were up like 27-0, it's 0-0. Don't take your
Yes, I
foot off the
agree.
gas. So the
But dude, that's
players
different. The
were
players
feeling
should
it
be
from
doing
me.
that.
That's
No,
right.
no. The players need to do that because they're playing.
And so do I.
You're watching on TV. It's not the same. I know you
It
feel like
worked.
it's the same, but it's
It
not.
worked.
I was
Listen,
celebrating. I was trying to get him to celebrate, and he
yeah,
wouldn't
I,
let me
I
have it.
was I was the last person to celebrate.
Well, in the world, out of all the
Yeah.
Eagles fans.
Yep.
All right. Well, Brandon, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
It was fun. We got to do this again.
Absolutely.
Not 900 subs, man. How about
Oh
that?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Almost
saw
at
that
1,000.
earlier.
The road to 1,000, dude.
Yeah, give us a like, subscribe. You could be the 1,000th. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Philly pride insists that's all. Andrew rapping and wild balls. Together they talk sports and dreams. Brad behind the scenes. It seems Philly versus NY. Who the call? Who's the greatest? Who will fall with this rivalry? Now it's clear. Join the chat. It's time to cheer. Sports and culture all in one. Catch the fire, feel the fun.